Hey guys, I'm Esther from Spicy Vegan Food, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make this creamy, delicious, amazing vegan Alfredo sauce. Look at that. Now the best part about this vegan Alfredo is obviously it's dairy free, but it's actually oil free as well. You can make this totally oil free and it's still creamy, decadent, delicious, and full of whole food ingredients. So I'm super excited to show you guys how I make this. All right, just a little sneak preview of how creamy and delicious this is. So the first thing we need is half a cup of raw unsalted cashews. And we want to soak those in boiling water while we do the rest of our cooking. So at least for 10 minutes, which we'll probably be spending about 10 minutes anyway. Then we need one large white onion. We're going to be getting a ton of flavor in this sauce from the onion and garlic. So we want to make sure we have a large white onion here. Now, you don't have to chop it finely. You can chop it like pretty loosely, just like that, because we're going to be blending it later. Now in a medium pan on medium heat, we're going to add in 1 cup of vegetable broth or chickenless broth, whatever vegan broth you want to use. And we're going to add in those loosely chopped onion pieces. You can kind of break them apart. I just did it really fast and easy because, like I said, we're going to blend it later so they can be bigger pieces, and it's totally fine. Now we actually want to reduce down that broth. So we want to get all that kind of flavor cooking in here, but we want to reduce it until there's pretty much no liquid left in the pan. Once we're down to that last tiny little bit of broth left, we're going to add in our garlic. We're going to ward off some vampires with 5 cloves of garlic. Don't skimp out on the garlic. Again, it's a huge factor in the flavor in this, so I would definitely be putting 5 cloves of garlic in there. So you can finely chop them, mince them, whatever you want to do. I have a little garlic press here, which I just absolutely love using. I find it so satisfying. So I'm going to get my remaining garlic cloves in there and get them out. And this is my little wrist workout too, apparently, because sometimes this is kind of hard. And so I'm going to get all that garlic in there. And sometimes there's a little bit left inside. Again, I can just add that right into the pan because it's going to be blended, so it doesn't have to be perfectly chopped or anything like that. So none of it has to go to waste. Now that the garlic is in the pan, I'm going to cook that for 1 minute. It doesn't take long to cook the garlic. We just want to start sort of smelling the garlic, and then we know that that is cooked and ready to set aside. So after 1 minute, we can just pull that pan and set it aside. Now we're going to add into a high-powered blender 1 cup of vegetable broth, 2 to 3 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, 1 tablespoon of freshly squeezed lemon juice. If you have fresh, that is absolutely best. And then we're going to add in our cashews. I've drained them. I've drained off all the water they were soaking in. So we're just adding those soaked cashews. And then we're going to add in our mixture. This is where we're getting all of that flavor, is from this onion and garlic mixture that was cooked in the chickenless broth. So this is absolutely amazing. Like, I cannot believe how good this tastes. I'm so excited for you guys to try it. Okay, so now that it's in the blender, we are going to blend that up until it's smooth and creamy. You want a high-powered blender for this, and that's why we soaked the cashews as well, because we don't want to be hitting that gritty, grainy, nutty texture. Soaking them is going to make it so that they're easier to blend and they're going to come out a lot creamier. Even if you have a Vitamix like this, I still recommend soaking those cashews in boiling water. Now, we're going to start cooking about 300 grams of pasta fettuccine noodles. I made homemade noodles here. I have a recipe for that too if you like. All vegan, no egg, delicious homemade noodles. Now, this part is 100% optional because it's an oil-free recipe unless you add this. So you can add 1 tablespoon of vegan butter. I'm doing it here if you want to impress your guests, things like that, but you really don't have to. It has an amazing flavor without the vegan butter, so do not feel obligated to add that at all. Now again, back into that same pan. There was no need to wash it or anything like that. We can just add in our sauce that we just blended up, which is our Alfredo sauce. So I'm going to actually go back in with a spatula and make sure I'm getting all of this gold out of here. It is so good. Honestly, you don't have to be vegan to enjoy this. You don't even have to be dairy-free to enjoy this. It's just a great healthy way to enjoy a creamy Alfredo sauce. So everybody loves this and says it tastes just like an Alfredo. So there you go. And I have a little bit more in my lid here. I'm gonna make sure I'm getting all of that out as well so that I have, you know, the more the better. Gonna get that all in the pan. It's on medium heat. I'm gonna turn that down to a simmer. That is bubbling a little bit more than I want it to, so I'm gonna turn that right down to a simmer. And as that's bubbling, you can see the vegan butter has melted in, and that just adds an extra little bit of deliciousness in there. And now I'm going to, you wanna taste it as you go. Depending on your vegetable broth, you might not even need to add salt. So I'm gonna add a little bit of salt, and I'm gonna add a lot of freshly ground black pepper. That is just my preference. You may want to add just a little bit, but here I am. It looks like I put this in fast motion, but it's just me actually just going wild with this pepper mill here. So I want to mix that as I go. I want to make sure we're not sticking to the bottom of the pan, make sure it's not burning at all, you know, have that down to a low simmer. Now again, I'm going to add more black pepper. I think it really adds a lot to the flavor, but if you're not a pepper person, don't worry, just a little bit will do. Now I've got that all ready to go, and the next thing I'm going to do is add my pasta. So my pasta is cooked. I'm going to add it right into the sauce. You can see I've got the consistency and the texture just perfectly exactly as I want it. So I'm going to add in all of my noodles, and then secret ingredient, 1 little scoop of pasta water. So make sure you don't skip that. And we're going to mix it all together. Look at how delicious and creamy and amazing this looks. I am so excited. And anytime I'm cooking and I'm about to serve it up, my dog starts staring at me, hoping something's gonna fall. She's gonna get some bite, something. So I'm gonna just sprinkle a little bit of fresh parsley as a topping. And then I'm gonna add a little bit more. You guys know by now I love freshly ground black pepper. So I'm gonna add a little bit more of that just to top it off. It just looks beautiful as well. And then you can top it with some vegan parm. Now, just an option, this is a plant-based thing that you can do, which is grate up a Brazil nut, which is what I'm doing here. Not exactly the same flavor as a vegan parm, but it tastes amazing. It looks beautiful, and it's 100% like so good for you, plant-based, all that stuff. So we're just gonna swirl, swirl, swirl. I'm in no rush now that this is made. I am so excited to enjoy this Alfredo pasta. Now, just another idea, you can actually add some cooked peas to it if you want to mix it up. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video on how to make this creamy vegan Alfredo. If you like this video and you want to see more recipes like this one, just make sure you hit that like and subscribe button below.